Hi, this is Mike Shore, and this is a podcast that will demonstrate how I sometimes use Dreamweaver to create my file templates and bring them into the Visual Studio environment. As someone that works in both the active and passive static content web worlds, I'm very used to using Dreamweaver. Most of you should have taken a Dreamweaver-based class at this point. So again, this should not be that new as far as the application, but its use might surprise you. For this current week's work, we need to create a master page. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new master page. So I'm going to add a new item in my master page folder. So I'm going to create a master page in Visual C#. Again, we're using C# for this class. I've noticed a couple of people using Visual Basic. Please make sure you change that. I'm going to call this page my master. And I want to select the place code in separate file and click on add. And this is going to create my shell of a master page. Notice I don't have a whole lot in this master page. And I need to also, I'm going to need some place to put my CSS file. So I'm going to go ahead and create my CSS folder, because obviously when we create our page in Dreamweaver, we'll have a CSS file. So I'm going to create add a new item in my CSS folder. So I'm going to select Style Sheet. And again, I'm going to give it the same name as my page. In this case, my master. So there's my CSS file. Now, let me switch back over to Dreamweaver, which I already have open. And I've already created a web page. And notice I've got my HTML. And there's my web page in terms of design view. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to code view because that's really what I want to look at for the moment. Now, notice that I've got a couple of different things that I need to bring over from this page, not to, the least of which is my images files. So I'm going to just go back to my Visual Studio environment. I need to add a folder for my images. And again, this is the generic images folder. This is not the themes, which we'll talk about as in later work in this chapter. I'm going to go over to my file folder, open images directory, copy those over. I'm also going to go back over to close all this. I'm going to go ahead and copy over all of these divs, this whole div structure, and content. And I'm going to remove those over to my Visual Studio. New master page. Now the one thing I'm going to do is go ahead and leave that placeholder. I'll move that into the main content area after I'm done. go outside the div. Remember, in a ASP.NET web page, the only real difference between it and a HTML page is that form component that encapsulates our entire content area. And again, our div class container surrounds everything. Here we have our content area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my content placeholder right in there. I'm also going to add in my sidebar, I'm going to go ahead and add another content placeholder by double clicking that, just to give myself a content placeholder in the sidebar. If I need to, I can do that same thing in the footer if I really want to. So save that.